देवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 15, texts 32 through 40. There are no purports to the translations from 32 onwards. So we'll read text 40 together. The other texts I will read myself. दृष्ट्वा स्वसैन्यं रुधिरौगकर्दमे रणाजीरे रामकुठारसायकै विवृग्नवर्म ध्वजचापविग्रहं निपातितं हैहय आपतदृशा. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Vaichanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By manipulating his axe and arrows, Lord Parashurama cut to pieces the shields, flags, bows, and bodies of Kartavirya Arjuna's soldiers, who fell on the battlefield, muddying the ground with their blood. Seeing these reverses, Kartavirya Arjuna, infuriated, rushed to the battlefield. Text 33. अथार्जुन पंचशतेषु बाहुभिर्धनुस्सुबाणान् युगपत्स सन्दधे रामाय रामोऽस्त्र भृतां समग्रनीस् तान्येकं दन्वेषुभिराचिनत् समम्. Translation. Then Kartavirya Arjuna, with his 1,000 arms, simultaneously fixed arrows on 500 bows to kill Lord Parashurama. But Lord Parashurama, the best of fighters, released enough arrows with only one bow to cut to pieces immediately all the arrows and bows in the hands of Kartavirya Arjuna. Text 34. Punasvahastair achalan mridengripan utक्षिप्य वेगाद अभिधातवो युधि भुजान कुठारेण कठोरनेमिना चिचेदराम prasabam tvaher iva. When his arrows were cut to pieces, Kartavirya Arjuna uprooted many trees and hills with his own hands and again rushed strongly toward Lord Parashurama to kill him. But Parashurama then used his axe with great force to cut off Kartavirya Arjuna's arms, just as one might lop off the hoods of a serpent. Texts 35 and 36. Krittabaho shirastasya gire shringam ivaharat hate pitari tat putra ayutam dudruvur bhayat agnihotrim upavartya savatsam paraviraha samupetyashtamam pitre pariklishtam samarpayat. Translation. Thereafter, Parashurama cut off like a mountain peak the head of Kartavirya Arjuna, who had already lost his arms. When Kartavirya Arjuna's 10,000 sons saw their father killed, they all fled in fear. Then Parashurama, having killed the enemy, released the Kamadhenu, which had undergone great suffering, and brought it back with its calf to his residence, where he gave it to his father, Jamadagni. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Gaunitai Prabhupada ki jai. Text 37. Swakarma tat kritam Rama pitre bhratribhya evacha varnayam asata shrutva jamadagnir abhashata. Translation. Parashurama described to his father and brothers his activities in killing Kartavirya Arjuna. Upon hearing of these deeds, Jamadagni spoke to his son as follows. Text 38. Rama Rama Mahabaho Bhavan Papam Akarashid Avadhin Naradevam Yat Sarvadevamayam Vritha. O great hero, my dear son Parashurama, you have you have unnecessarily killed the king, who is supposed to be the embodiment of all the demigods. Thus, you have committed a sin. Vayam hi brahmanastata kshamayar hanatam gataha yaya lok gurur deva parameshtyam agat padam. My dear son, we are all brahmanas and have become worshipable for the people in general because of our quality of forgiveness. It is because of this quality that Lord Brahma, the supreme spiritual master of this universe, has achieved his post. Text 40. Please repeat after me. Kshamaya rochate lakshmihi. Kshamaya rochate lakshmir. Brahmi sauri yatha prabha. Brahmi sauri yatha prabha. Shaminam Ashu Bhagavan Shaminam Ashu Bhagavams Tushyate Harihi Ishvaraha Tushyate Haririshvaraha Shamaya Rochate Lakshmir Brahmi Sauri Yata Prabha Shaminam Ashu Bhagavams Tushyate Haririshvaraha Shamaya Rochate Lakshmir Brahmi Sauri Yatha Prabha Shaminam Ashu Bhagavams Tushyate Haririshvaraha. Shamaya, simply by forgiving. Rochate, becomes pleasing. Lakshmihi, the goddess of fortune. Brahmi, in connection with Brahminical qualifications. Sauri, the sun god. Yatha, as. Prabha, the sunshine. Shaminam, onto the Brahmanas, who are so forgiving. Ashu, very soon. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tushyate, becomes pleased. Harihi, the Lord. Ishvaraha, the Supreme Controller. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Can you repeat the translation? The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating like the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving. Purport. Different personalities become beautiful by possessing different qualities. Chanakya Pandit says that the cuckoo bird, although very black, is beautiful because of its sweet voice. Similarly, a woman becomes beautiful by her chastity and faithfulness to her husband. And an ugly person becomes beautiful when he becomes a learned scholar. In the same way, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras become beautiful by their qualities. Brahmanas are beautiful when they are forgiving, Kshatriyas when they are heroic and never retreat from fighting, Vaishyas when they enrich cultural activities and protect cows, and Shudras when they are faithful in the discharge of duties pleasing to their masters. Thus, everyone becomes beautiful by his special qualities. As the special quality of the Brahmana, I'm sorry, and the special quality of the Brahmana, as described here, is forgiveness. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation to Canto 9, Chapter 13, texts 32 through 40 of Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. In these texts, we see how when Kartavira Arjuna, becoming proud of achieving 1000 arms by the blessings of Lord Dattatreya, became puffed up and first time being too much proud of his acquired power, he stopped the water flow of river Narmada, which is flowing in its natural course. And because of which the camp of Ravana got flooded on the other side because the water moon was stopped, the water had to recede back. Then, once again, in these texts, we see that one time Kartaviri Arjuna came hunting and then he came to the ashram of Jamadagni, and Jamadagni gave a very nice reception to the king and all his entourage because he had a Kamadheru, only one cow. He was able to supply all the necessities of the king and all his men. So Karthavir Arjuna was surprised how he is having so much facility. Then he wanted to steal this Kamadheru along with its calf. And then he stole and took it off. So then when Parashurama got to know, he was unhappy about this. So Karthavir Arjuna left the Kamadhenu and Parashurama returned to his ashram. Mm. But Parashurama became very angry and he wanted to chastise Karthavir Arjuna. And those are these instances referred here. So taking up his chopper, his shield, bow, quiver, arrows, Parashurama, exceedingly angry, chased Karthavir Arjuna just as a lion chases an elephant. So big fight ensued, and here it is described by manipulating his axe and arrows. Lord Parshuram, who is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, cut to pieces the shields, flags, bows, and bodies of Karthavir Arjuna's soldiers, muddying the ground with their blood. So Karthavir Arjuna became very angry and he came to attack Parashurama directly with his 1000 arms, fixing arrows on 500 bows. But Lord Parashurama, with only one bow, cut off all the bows of Karthavir Arjuna, including all his 1000 arms. Of course, first he cut his bows, and then Karthavir Arjuna used his hands to fight with the Lord physically. Then the Lord cut off all his arms. The example is given just as one might lop off the hoods of a serpent. Then Parashurama cut off the head of Karthavir Arjuna, who had already lost his arms. Then his sons, Karthavir Arjuna had 10,000 sons, they all became scared and they all fled in fear of Parashurama. Then Lord Parashurama brought back the Kamadhenu and with its calf back to his residence and delivered it to his father Jamadagni. Interestingly, there's a turn of events here. He thought his father might be happy, but then when he heard that he had unnecessarily killed Karthavir Arjuna, father became very unhappy because he said, "Oh, great hero, my dear son Parashurama, Rama Rama Mahabaho, Bhavan Papam Akarashit, you have committed a great sin. Avadin Naradevam Yat Sarvadevamayam Vritha." It is said in the scriptures that the king is the embodiment of all the devatas. So you have unnecessarily killed him. Then he goes on to glorify the position of Brahmanas and a particular quality of the Brahmanas by which they have become worshipable by the people in general. And that is forgiveness. And this forgiving quality, Parashurama failed to practice, put it in practice. Vayam hi brahmanastata kshamaya arhanatam gataha yaya lokagurur deva parameshtyam agat padam. So he's saying, uh, parameshtyam agat padam. In this entire universe, we have achieved parameshtya, a very superior position. Agat padam. Padam means position. Agat means achieved. Parameshti means the highest position in the universe. Hmm? Uh, Lord Brahma, Lok Guru Devaha, referring to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has achieved the highest position in the universe because of cultivating the quality of forgiveness. And not only Lord Brahma, Brahmana, even the Brahmanas in this world are highly respected and have become worshipable. Arhanam, Arhanatam Gataha. We have become worshipable because of this quality of forgiveness. So we have become worshipable. Lord Brahma has achieved the supreme position in this universe as the supreme spiritual master of the universe because of this quality of forgiveness. So, therefore, in the last verse of today's discussion, he is saying, Kshamaya rochate lakshmir brahmi sauri yatha prabha. So, he is saying, uh, Brahmi, the quality of a Brahmana or the duty of a Brahmana is Kshamaya, simply to forgive. Kshamaya Lakshmi. This is the ornament of a Brahmana. That's why the word Lakshmi is used. This is the ornament of a Brahmana. Uh, It brings in good fortune for the Brahmana. And he's become respectable and worshipable because of this quality. And Rochate, the Brahmana becomes very pleasing to the society because of this quality. So here he is giving an example, Sauri Yatha Prabha, which is illuminating like the sun. Just like sun is illuminating, the striking thing, quality in a Brahmana, just like the striking thing in a sun is sunshine. That's the most striking thing. Similarly, the most striking thing in a Brahmana is forgiveness. That is the most striking quality in a Brahmana. So much striking that it is mentioned, Shaminam Ashu Bhagavam Stushyate Haririshvaraha. So much striking it is, forget that people recognize that quality in him. Even the Supreme Lord recognizes that quality in the Brahmana. You become recognized by the Supreme Lord if you can cultivate the quality of forgiveness. Even you become recognized by the Supreme Lord Himself. Kshaminam, for those who are forgiving. Tushyate, Bhagavams, the Supreme Lord, Harihi becomes pleased with such a person. Uh, Ashu, he becomes very quickly pleased. So therefore, this quality has to be cultivated or cultured. Among all the qualities of Brahmana, this is the most striking quality. There are many qualities of a Brahmana. Kshama, Dama Satyam, Shanti Rajavamevacha, Jnana Vijnana Brahma Karma Swabhavajam. In the Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, Krishna describes the qualities of a Brahmana. 9 qualities of a Brahmana. The very first quality is Kshama, forgiveness. Sometimes Prabhupada also translates it as peace, peacefulness. Sometimes Prabhupada translates it as forgiveness. If you don't forgive, you will not be peace in your at your mind. You'll always be disturbed. You'll be agitated in your mind. Isn't it? Suppose some injustice has happened to you. It'll always be disturbing you, agitating you. If you have been the cause for the disturbance, then also it is disturbing. More disturbing is you have not done anything. That means there is injustice. Then how much more disturbing that will be? So the mind will be agitated. There'll be turbulence. The first symptom, how do you recognize this person is a Brahmana? So is a Brahmana. How do you recognize? Very first thing is there'll be serenity and peace in his mind, in his dealings. He is not agitated. Even though there is cause of disturbance. It is not that there is no cause of disturbance, therefore I am peaceful. Even though there is cause of disturbance, still is peaceful, not agitated. He is sober. So that is the quality of a Brahmana. Because how is he able to be peaceful? Because he has cultivated the quality of tolerance and forgiveness. Elsewhere, Prabhupada translates Kshama as tolerance and forgiveness. So because he is able to tolerate and forgive, uh, he is respected and worshipped in the society. So we have to cultivate this quality of Kshama or forgiving nature. Then only we can advance in spiritual life. In the purport, Prabhupada nicely says, different personalities become beautiful by possessing different qualities. By quoting Chanakya Pandit's, Prabhupada says, um, four things, quoting Chanakya Pandit. Kokilanam swaro rupam. Kokila or cuckoo, it's a black bird. It is not very beautiful to look at. But even that kokila becomes beautiful by its singing. It has got a special, beautiful quality. It's singing. Its voice is beautiful. Doesn't matter. Externally, it is not beautiful. That's not important. But still, the kokila becomes recognized, beautiful, important because of its singing. So everybody has a special trait, special quality. And one should culture that special quality which one is endowed with. It's very important. So recognize what we are blessed with and try to appreciate that and cultivate that and nurture that quality. There's nothing to curse oneself because people always curse oneself. I don't have this, I don't have that, I am not good at this, I'm not good at that. But everybody is good at something. Everybody is beautiful by a certain quality that has to be recognized, which is the gift of God to that living being. So Kokilanam Swaro Rupam. So Kokila becomes beautiful by its singing, by its voice. Then uh, Rupam Vidya Kurupanam. Vidya Rupam Kurupanam. A person may be ugly, may not be beautiful, may not be handsome, but even such a ugly looking person or a black colored person can become beautiful by Vidya, cultivating knowledge. Then Nari Rupam Pativrataha. A woman becomes beautiful by her chastity and faithfulness to her husband. That is the real beauty of a woman, not the external looks. Then, in today's context, Prabhupada quotes, Kshama Rupam Tapasvinaha. For a tapasvi, a Brahmana is actually a tapasvi. So for a tapasvi or a sage, a saintly person, or an austere person, or a Brahmana, the beauty in that person is not the tapasya, the actual saintliness, or the actual result of that tapasya should result in what is called as kshama. He should cultivate forgiving nature. This is the fruit of his austerity. Sometimes we see people may take up a lot of austerity, but their heart is very hard. They're very harsh. They're very rough. But they are not forgiving. They become irritated. They become angry. But that's not the quality of austerity or a saintly person. The quality of a saintly person is to forgive. This is the fruit of his tapasya, of his practicing spiritual life. We will see that Prabhupada described in many places about this. In one place, Prabhupada says, there have been many instances in the history of the world wherein even saintly persons were unnecessarily harassed, even though they're not at fault, yet they tolerated and they were forgiving. So, this is what I've been trying to say. Sometimes we are the cause of that mistake, but sometimes we may not be the cause of the mistake. Yet we will be accused, we will be criticized, or even punished. Saintly persons don't take action even on such circumstances, although they could have done so. So Prabhupada quotes the famous example of Maharaja Parikshit. For no reason, the young Brahmana by name Shringi, young boy, he cursed Maharaja Parikshit to die within 7 days. Parikshit Maharaj had all the strength to counter the curse, to counteract the curse, to neutralize the curse, but he didn't take any action. He accepted the curse happily, without any grudge. not taking any recourse for that curse. He accepted it. So this is the nature of a saintly person. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 4, Lord Krishna describes about the qualities of human beings which he himself has created. Buddhirjnanam asammoha, kshama satyam dama shamaha, sukam dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha. So here Krishna describes about uh, the qualities which he has created. Buddhir, intelligence; jnanam, knowledge; asammoha, free from doubt; kshama, forgiveness; satyam, truthfulness; damaha, uh, mind control; shamaha, damaha, sense control; shamaha, mind control; sukham, dukkham, happiness and suffering; bhavo bhavo, bhayam cha bhayameva cha, fear and freedom from fear; bhava, repetition of birth and death; abhava, freedom from birth and death. So all these qualities Krishna says, I have created. In explaining the quality of Kshama in the purport, Prabhupada says, Kshama as tolerance and forgiveness should be practiced. One should be tolerant and excuse the minor offense of the others. Then only you can cultivate forgiveness. When offense is created, there is the cause for forgiving. If there's no offense, then where the cause of forgiving? How do you practice forgiveness? Like when we always argue that you have made a mistake, you are on the wrong side, so you have to be punished. That is there. We have to see the severity of the case. That's why Prabhupada makes a point. The minor offenses of others should be forgiven, especially when it is meted to oneself. Again, in the 16th chapter, text number 3, actually 16th chapter, it is entitled, in 16th chapter, the Bhagavad Gita is entitled Divine and Demonic Nature. So the first three verses Krishna takes to describe 25 divine qualities, godly, transcendental qualities belonging to godly persons. Again, Krishna describes about this quality of forgiveness as a divine transcendental quality belonging to godly men. In text number 3, Krishna says, chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita, Te dakshama driti shaucham adroho nati manita bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijadasya bharata. I'm just taking the portion of the words under context. Tejaha, vigor; kshama, forgiveness; dhritihi, fortitude. That means the mental strength to tolerate reversals in life is called fortitude. Shaucham, cleanliness; adroho means freedom from envy; na atimanita, not expecting any honor; bhavanti sampadam daivim. These are all sampadam daivim, divine qualities. Abhichadasya pandava. Actually, Krishna is telling Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you are already born with these divine qualities. So there is no need for any fear for you. You don't have to fear. You're killing the opponents called the Kauravas because Arjuna was concerned. So I don't want to commit sin of killing my own friends, relatives, my guru for the sake of enjoying the kingdom. But Krishna is assuring that was in the uh, beginning chapters of the Gita. In the second chapter, the first chapter also Arjuna argues it is sinful. Second chapter also Arjuna argues. The 16th chapter Krishna is saying, no, Arjuna, you are born with divine qualities. Where the question of you committing sin? So he is assuring Arjuna that he can go ahead fighting the battle. So Krishna is describing Kshama, forgiveness, as a quality belonging to godly men. So Prabhupada says in the purport, if violence is needed in specific cases, so it has to be implemented. Violence has to be uh, uh, utilized under certain cases. So even if one has the power to curb down evil forces, strong forces, Still, in specific situations and cases, when there is a need, under certain conditions, one should show forgiveness. Even if one has the power to curb down his enemy, still, under certain conditions, one must forgive if it necessitates. He may excuse minor offenses. Then Prabhupada says, if in ancient times, formally, when people did something wrong, somebody did something wrong, just like Arjuna himself, Prabhupada quotes, he was so much tortured by the other party. Still, he told Krishna, "Let them go, Krishna. I don't want to kill them." But today, opposite of that is going on. Even for a small interest of one small interest, they don't mind going up to the point of killing the other person. So that is the situation today. Prabhupada says, if we take everything seriously in life, then it is very difficult to live. Therefore, Kshama means forgiveness. If you don't cultivate this quality, what will happen? If you don't cultivate forgiveness and learn to forgive people's minor mistakes, your vengeance will increase, your anger will increase, you will want to retaliate in a very strong way. So these things will start increasing. Then you will have no control over them. That will be a big risk. So, according to Vedic injunction, five kinds of people don't come under the purview of law and they should not be punished, should not be taken action against. Women, old men, cows, brahmanas, children. So, these five category of people are always exempt from being criminally prosecuted. For them, there is no punishment. Rather, they should be shown mercy because they require protection, they require guidance. So this was the Manu Samhita law in those days. There is a very nice reference by Yudhishthira Maharaj before the battle of Mahabharata began, wherein he is trying to advise his other brothers, younger brothers, and Mother Draupadi about how we should forgive the offenders, the uh, Kauravas, and let go. So he's in trying to convince and trying to quote a lot of Shastric references and convince his brothers and his wife. Yudhishthira Maharaj highlights the importance and quality of forgiveness. He says, Yudhishthira, quoting Kashyapa Muni, he says, forgiveness is virtue, forgiveness is sacrifice, forgiveness is Vedas, forgiveness is purity and penance. It is truth, piety, religion, and Narayana himself. Through forgiveness, the universe is sustained. And practicing forgiveness, a man can attain to everlasting regions of bliss, both in this world and the next, belong to the forgiving person. So, like this, he went on to uh, glorify and highlight the importance of forgiveness as the highest virtue, and therefore, why they should not kill the opponents, although they are bent on killing, and they wanted the kingdom at any cost. There's one more reference, uh, again from the scriptures, from the Bhagavatam. Once Parashara Muni wanted to kill all the demons in this world because one of the demons had killed his father. So, as a retaliation measure, he wanted to rid the world of all the demons. Then Vasishta Muni got to hear about this decision of Parashara Muni, who was the father of Vyasadeva. And then he personally came and requested Parashara, it is not wise to take such a stern, such a severe action. So then Vasishta Muni is highly respected in the human society and among all the Brahmanas and Rishis. He is highly respected. His word is taken very seriously. So when Vasishta Muni personally requested, Parashara Muni respecting Vasishtha Muni's words, desisted himself from such killing. Then Parashar Muni thought, actually, anyway, they are demons. Their quality is to show anger, vengeance, hatred. This is their quality. For that reason, why should I lose my Brahminical quality of forgiveness? This is their nature. Why should I lose my nature of Brahminical nature of forgiveness? So, thinking like that, he withdrew his anger and forgave them. Because of which he was uh, blessed to, because of controlling his anger and cultivating and giving way for his forgiving quality, he was blessed to become a great speaker of the Puranas. And that's how it is described that he became great speaker of the Puranas. And first of all, he spoke the Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana. So here also we see, I conclude that Jamadagni had advised Parashurama that we have to cultivate the quality of forgiveness and should not retaliate unnecessarily. And he became very unhappy that Parashurama had killed the king. Although the king had offended Jamadagni, still Jamadagni didn't take the offense. So that's the nature of any great person. So by cultivating this quality of forgiveness, he is telling Parashurama, the Lord Hari becomes very pleased. So stop here, Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.